What is going on, everyone? Leon checking in, and we're at it again with another episode. Now, today's content is an increased focus on virtual reality, which brings us to the Meta Quest Pro rig upgrades. That being said, in today's content, we'll be unboxing, demoing, reviewing, and rating VR Cover's head strap cover for the Meta Quest Pro. And make sure you stay tuned for more Meta Quest Pro rig upgrades like the Moho XR VR shell. Now, clarity and authenticity are important for the channel, which is why I wanted to mention that VR Cover did send us this product at no charge. However, I will say I am choosing to feature this brand because I have tried VR Cover's other products like their fitness facial interface for the Meta Quest 2 and have had good results. Now, if you are watching on YouTube and are looking for more content related to this topic, you can find it on the Meta Quest playlist. And as always, you can find items mentioned or shown in this content by clicking on the Amazon storefront link in the description below. All things said, let's go ahead and get into it. So let's talk unboxing the VR Cover head strap cover. First, we're going to have directions on top, and then we're going to have two head strap covers positioned side by side. Now, having two head strap covers is especially useful if you're using your Quest Pro for high intensity workouts. You can use one strap, and after you get done working out, wash it and allow it to dry while you install the other strap. Now, before we move on, just some highlights of this head strap cover as advertised on the packaging. First, it is handmade. That's a nice little thing to know. It is designed to absorb sweat, which is going to be important for those high intensity workouts, and it improves hygiene. And we also have an easy to install application and comfortable on the skin. So this overall should upgrade the Meta Quest Pro. Next, we have installation of the VR Cover head strap cover. But before we get started, we wanted to mention that this cover is secured by Velcro, which is going to make for quick and easy install and removal, a plus for cleaning. So we're going to start by taking the VR cover and laying it on the front pad of the head strap, just like so. Next, we need to secure the cover by attaching the Velcro straps. This is honestly the hardest part of the job, which isn't all that hard, just requires a bit of patience. We're going to feed the Velcro strap from one side in between this inner strap and the outer strap until it comes through, and then pull it up, and then we're going to attach the Velcro, and we're going to repeat for the other side. At this moment, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just looking to secure it, and then we can adjust it afterwards. So again, feed it through and then pull this up and over. Again, requires a little bit of patience. Now, as you can see, it's not sitting perfectly, and this is where we would actually adjust here. So I'm just going to pull this portion of the cover over. I want this to look a bit more flush, so I'm going to kind of push it underneath this plastic shroud here a little bit. And just get it lined up as good as you can. And then if you wanted to, you can flip over here. You could also check the underside here. Make sure that you get good alignment here as well. Now, I will say after installing this, there is some space. There's like an air pocket in here. I don't think this is all that bad, but just something to keep in mind. Now, overall appeal is preem, and I also like the exposed VR cover branding, which looks cool. Overall install is clean and simple and leads to a score of 9 out of 10. So let's talk performance of the VR cover now that we have it installed on the Meta Quest Pro. Now, my biggest concern here was if the VR cover would stay in place during an intense workout, and I specifically chose Body Combat because that is one of the most intense applications I've used in virtual reality when it comes to fitness. Now, the good news is the cover didn't come off at all, and it also didn't shift or move much from what I could tell. Another area of focus was going to be the amount of redness that develops on the forehead, as well as the amount of discomfort that comes from that. Now, when you are using the Meta Quest Pro without this cover, the amount of redness is pretty extreme, and there is a good amount of discomfort. It kind of feels like your forehead goes numb. You might have a tingling sensation or a numbness sensation. Now, when it comes to the application of the VR cover, it seems like the amount of redness was still an issue, but it was less than if you hadn't used this cover. And the good news is I didn't have a feeling of numbness or tingling, so the VR cover does help this. Now again, we tested this VR cover branded head strap cover with the Body Combat app, and this is a very fitness intense app. Once again, there's lots of sweating. And a good benefit of this cover is the fabric material. It's going to absorb sweat better than the factory materials. If you look at the factory padding, it doesn't really absorb sweat all that well. And as you can imagine, that sweat's going to run down your forehead. And there's also the concern of what happens over time when that sweat continues to puddle up on these sensitive lenses. And then, as previously mentioned, installation was simple with the Velcro application, and that makes removal simple as well for cleaning, especially after you've had a sweaty session. And again, there was an additional head strap cover included in the box, and that means when you are cleaning the dirty one, you'll have a clean one to apply to the headset. Now, all of these points give the VR cover branded head strap cover an 8 out of 10 for a performance score. And finally, we have cleaning and maintenance of the VR cover head strap cover, which is going to be very easy. Simply wash with cold water and hang dry, and this leads to a cleaning score of 10 out of 10 because it doesn't get any simpler than this. So final thoughts. Overall, the VR cover branded head strap cover is going to be a good upgrade for your Meta Quest Pro. Now there is a con here, and that is I would love to see a cover for this back pad as well to complete the whole kit. Now the reason I say this is I haven't had a chance to actually look at the back of my head, but I feel like sometimes there is some redness that develops as well from this pad, which is very similar to the front pad, and there is also a level of discomfort. And if we have that fabric material as well, we can absorb sweat from the back of the head as well. So that is it for today's content. If you enjoyed it and found it useful, please leave a like. If you're watching on YouTube and have any questions or comments, as always, drop those down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Now there are 3 ways you can support the content. The first way is to click on the Amazon storefront link in the description below. There you'll find items that I have bought or would buy, and anything you buy from the storefront does support the content. The next way to show your support is just by sharing this content with someone who might enjoy it or find it useful. And the last way to show your support is by clicking the subscribe button. Now, liking and subscribing are important because those are ways to vote on whether you like the content. Liking and subscribing are also important to new viewers and listeners. If new viewers and listeners see likes and subscribers, they're going to think that the content is helpful, worth watching, and listening to. And as always, thanks for watching, and may the universe flow in your favor. And until next time, Leon checking out.
You